Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Brian Colletto Show on YouTube. And if this should ever get repurposed to other platforms, wherever you may listen to podcasts. So let's start with the first success that I had this week, and that is that I scheduled this on my computer instead of my phone. So this time we are actually streaming from my computer where I can actually use this mic that I'm using right now to do this show. So that's the first things first with doing this. The second thing is, as many people know, and as I've been advertising, they come to the show looking to hear something related to autism. So I am going to deliver on that. So this week, I want to talk about how I'm planning on incorporating a little bit of TEDx theme into my upcoming autism videos. So last Thursday, I did a video where I said, here's an idea worth spreading. And I remember, not word for word, but I remember hearing myself saying something along the lines of, I may not be a speaker with Breakfast with Champions, but I am a champion in my own right. Something along those lines. So the reason that I have come up with this idea of the here's an idea worth spreading is because that is essentially a question that TEDx asks anybody who wants to be a TEDx speaker is, what is your idea worth spreading? And and that's what they look for with who they schedule to be speakers. Now, I'm not expecting an instant success with getting on TEDx stage, but with some consistency, I think I can get there. I recently did connect with somebody who did a TEDx talk recently, and that's where I got some ideas as to where I'm going to take my future reels into my videos. So that is a little bit as it relates to autism with me. Although, as I've also said, my brain tends to go all over the place sometimes. And case in point, as I've been reminded recently, and I don't want to point any blame at others or even myself, sometimes I forget things. I've forgotten a water bottle at places more than I would have liked to. And I've also forgotten to take certain things back to work that I had to bring home. Uh, but I keep trucking along, believing that in some way, shape, or form, God has got me. And this can be a thing for people on the autism spectrum, as I've alluded to. Some have really good memory, and some brains just go all over the place. Of course, I like to think I have a combination of both. I have a really good memory, and my brain goes all over the place because, well, you know, using lots of apps to connect with people. Sometimes I have to prioritize certain things, and I'm not always the best at doing that. Um, it can be very easy to just stick to a regular routine, as I've also alluded to in my videos about autism, because people on the spectrum, a lot of them love their routines and don't want them broken. And while I'm willing to go outside of routine, it does take a little bit for me to do so, as it does others. And that's really important. Now, I understand that there are some on the spectrum who constantly have to go outside of their routines in maybe not so pleasant ways, like doctor appointments, because some people have other kinds of disabilities or challenges. And some it's just natural health stuff, whatever it is. But I'm grateful that God has blessed me with a fairly good brain and fairly good health, which, by the way, I actually am down a few pounds over the last few weeks. It's kind of hard to believe, but I had stopped drinking sparkling water recently because when I started incorporating that in late 2022 into early 2023, that was when the weight went up. So I've cut that out, and now we're doing better. So I'm really encouraged by that. So now that we are a little more than 7 minutes in, now it's time to get to what has gone on with me over the past week. Well, first, before I get into any of that, I know it's probably a little late into this video to say it, but to those of you who may be mothers out there, a happy belated Mother's Day, including my own mother, Pat. We celebrated on Saturday because my mom doesn't like to go out into the crowds on the actual day. Didn't do anything too big, just went out for dinner. So, otherwise, it was a relaxing weekend for me. But what else took place? So, 2 straight nights I went to networking events, both of which I was not sure. There was a potential of weather, although we were able to avoid it. But also, they were relatively in the same area in back to back nights. Um, but I had fun at both of them. One of them was at a conservancy house um, at a small park, and that was a multi chamber event, and that was really fun. Got to see a lot of new faces, and also faces I just hadn't seen in a long time. And then the next night was another networking event. This one was a little more stripped down. Um, Very few unfamiliar faces. In fact, some that I had seen the night before. And and so we're getting out there. We're getting out there, and you know, just keep doing the thing and keep growing. Um, I'm very close to 450 subscribers on YouTube as of the timing of this video. And I want to thank you all for supporting it. So, whether you listen to a few seconds of this, a minute, the entire thing, I appreciate that you came by and showed some love for me and this video. And hopefully, I will be back here next week when I will be a new age number. So until then, I send you all love, light, blessings, and peace.